Andy.
Hey there. If there's anyone who'd be willing to help out George with getting food inside, we will have food for them.
Well, maybe we shouldn't start right now.
Yeah,
because I didn't get into that apple thing.
It is delicious.
Yes. Poetry's not that important.
No, poetry sucks. All right, with that, we will start with you, Jim. Get up here.
Yeah, baby.
Right now.
The poetry heckler himself.
Give it up.
You suck, you bastard.
Yeah.
Go get some spaghetti.
Yeah, baby. Change.
The person we can eat right through.
If anybody wants to buy a copy of the paper, it's $1. $1 a piece.
buy it from Gary.
Buy it from Gary. I see.
Everybody got one paper left.
All right.
I got one paper left. It's $1.
$1. Yeah, buy it from Gary. Thank you, sir. Okay. Real quick. Oh gosh, come on.
The other sausages all are sausages.
God! Why don't they study these edges? What are you doing? Trying to open the paper. All right, here we go. Oh gosh, my fingers don't work well after passing. Farming in the city to feed the hungry. William James O'Fahey. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. This quote from Isaiah chapter 55, verse 10, affirms the natural cycle of food and mankind's role in it. The seed is born by God's design and is planted to give bread to the world, the eater. But what happens when man tampers with the seeds? When genetically modified crops, genetically modified organisms, or GMOs were first introduced into American agriculture, few farmers had any conception of how great a threat such technologies pose to the family farm. After all, many might have figured genetically engineered crops could increase yields and save on labor and energy costs. This is because spraying herbicides directly on an already flowering GMO field crop, this is very poetic, mind you, would eliminate the need to pass a cultivator over a field at all. Usually on a row crop of corn, for example, at least 3 passes with a row cultivator would be needed for weed control throughout the growing season. What could be wrong with eliminating that? The first and most obvious question was, do residues of chemicals like glyphosate remain on the harvested crop? And do these chemical residues cause health problems? Chemical companies have long maintained that pesticide and herbicide spray-ready GMO crops are safe. But less than 10 years after the wide circulation of spray-ready and other genetically modified crops, glyphosate is now linked to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in humans. Also, mass extinctions of monarch butterflies are attributed to GMO corn, and countless human allergic reactions, including anaphylactic shock, are traced to the indigestible proteins in GMO grains. This, remember, real quick, begins to address the first and most obvious question. Again, are genetically engineered foods safe?
Anastasia!
The answer, of course, is a resounding no! GMOs are not safe. Almost over. And as if food toxicity from GMO crops is not bad enough, the infiltration of GMO products into America's export grain pool has given cause for grain importing nations to reject U.S. grain and soybeans. Thus the promise of GMO bumper yields creating bumper export markets is an illusion. And even if export grain markets were stable and certain, American small farmers would not be the beneficiaries. The truth about monoculture, single cash crop farming, is that a minority of large corporate farms dominate U.S. grain production. The tiny profits on a bushel of monoculture hybrid grain necessitate economies of scale, almost over, large-scale agribusiness with vast inputs of machinery and chemicals. This creates a perpetual cycle of mounting farm debt and soil degradation requiring greater additions of synthetic fertilizers. Big finale, big finale. Ultimately, farmers succumb to monopolies and monopsonies that regulate and manipulate grain prices and demand farmers buy annual seeds and chemicals from the modern version of the company's store. Source: Genetic Engineering in Agriculture, The Myth, Environmental Risks and Alternatives by Miguel Altieri, publisher of First Oakland, California. Anyway, real quick, very good. Concerned scientists, such as Jane Goodall, yes, the chimpanzee Jane Goodall, have explored solutions to the GMO crisis in agriculture, and concluded that world agriculture must be based on small, rural, and urban family farms. They will grow a vast diversity of organic crops and sell directly to quality-conscious local markets. Such a food strategy creates a web of jobs, from local farmers to nearby truckers to neighborhood warehouses to local food processors and retailers. In addition, local advertising medium, banking, and insurance jobs are often created in support of the local food network. Dr. Wayne Roberts, in his book, The No-Nonsense Guide to World Food, New Internationalist Publishing, outlines such a buy local strategy to create truly sustainable dream jobs. Big finale. Our part of the food web in Toledo, of course, begins with buying local when possible and with urban farming and gardening. And because the season is upon us for seed starting in greenhouses and seedling planting soon after, Toledo Grows is facilitating their annual public seed swap on Saturday, February 27, 2010. This event is scheduled to take place at Wildwood Preserve Metro Parks 1 Pavilion, 5100 West Central Toledo, blah, 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 blah. Additionally, public workshops on topics from herb gardening to raising chickens are scheduled at TBG from 10 to 5 as part of the seed swap festivities. For more info, call 536-5566 or see www.toledogarden.org. Yeah! Paper on earth.
Yeah. All right, and to follow that is Matt Sharada. Matt.
Ooh.
Silence, her. Shut up.
Alrighty, I'm going to do a couple of old things and a new thing. And do 3 poems altogether. I'll do this little poem first. There's like one little section of poetry here. Let's have fun with the UFOs on the horizon, because we don't know what it is. We just know that sometimes we have to break away from the past, we have to break away from tradition, and we have to separate ourselves from each other just so we can appreciate our love for one another. Yes, these are only words, but the potion is working, the poetry is sending its magic, and I am beginning to understand what it is I am doing. No meanness, no envy, no fear, just love, learning, searching, never ending, and being.
Yeah!